Then she decided that she didn't want to be with me anymore. And even though it's only been 14 days, we're looking into getting an annulment, a divorce. I don't even know how it works. We only been married for 2 weeks. But I wanted to actually stick it out, but
nah, that's where you lost me. Nah, fam. See, and this is where a lot of y'all dudes go wrong, man. So imagine this. Just about 2 weeks into your marriage with your lovely wife, you come home from a hard day's work, 12 hours on the job. You pull up, you find a random car in your driveway, wondering what the f that is. And then you go inside the house only to find out that your wife doesn't actually want to be a wife. She wants to be a unicorn for another couple instead. That's the story of this gentleman here who had the unfortunate realization of realizing that his wife, or a former wife in this case, was a thought rocket, and he shared the video with the internet. So you know what we do here, we go ahead and break these videos down like a fraction, and then we're gonna talk about it. If you're new here, what's going on? My name is Serge. I talk about dating, relationships, and self-improvement from the perspective of a man for men. Ladies, you're more than welcome to stay and hang out. But guys, if you're new here, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video with a homie as well. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I got married 17 days ago, and we're already deciding to call it quits. I was out of town working. I told her when I was coming home, and I came home, and there was another car in the driveway. I go into the bedroom, and my wife is laying in the bed with a couple. It was a man and a woman. So I started throwing a fit. They started talking about how she's been their girlfriend for 2 years.
Dog, I don't know about y'all, but I would bug the f out. I mean, honestly speaking, like, it must suck so much to at least have the inclination that the person that you wanted to be with doesn't want to be with you, but in fact, they'd rather be with a whole other couple. Fam, I don't know. My ego would be destroyed. Like, okay, first of all, this guy not only took my chick, but he's already got his own, and they recruited mine? What the fuck did I do? I would feel so upset. And I mean, this is the reality, right? Like, for a lot of us, we go into these relationships not really knowing who these people are, or we just assume that they have our best interest in mind because you're in a relationship together. You don't think someone is gonna go ahead and do that to you, or at the very least, there'll be some sort of upfront with you. I don't know how long this guy was with his girl, but for whatever reason, it seems like a lot of these relationships that end up in flames, such as this, they often start off very, very quick. I think the first lesson here right off the bat should be, take your time with people. I don't care how much she pressures you into taking the next step into the relationship, if she's pressuring you into meeting her family, whatever the case may be, do that on your own terms. Because I'm not saying you need to test. I'm not a fan of testing people in relationships. For me, I always say just let them do what they do and just observe. Like, why test someone or make it seem like you're testing them because they're gonna change their behavior towards you? Just sit back and observe. And the second you see something that crosses your boundaries, then it's time to throw up the deuces and leave. But in this case, guys, take your time. Don't be out here rushing, trying to, make things work with someone because you feel like this is the person for you. The reality of it is there are no soulmates. There's no such thing as soulmates, and attraction ultimately can't be argued. Like, you can't buy your way into attraction. You can't game your way into attraction. You can't riz your way into attraction. It's either she's attracted to you or not. And even in those scenarios, things happen that obviously cause a relationship to end. So just keep that in mind.
Then she decided that she didn't want to be with me anymore. And even though it's only been 14 days, we're looking into getting an annulment, a divorce. I don't even know how it works. We only been married for 2 weeks. But I wanted to actually stick it out, but
nah, that's where you lost me. Nah, fam. See, and this is where a lot of y'all dudes go wrong, man. Fellas, let's be clear on one thing. If she cheats on you, she don't want you anymore. Like, what is there to stick out? She don't want you. Fam, she doesn't want you anymore. If she's cheating on you, she already had someone else in mind. Now listen, granted, people are gonna say, hey, she wasn't yours anyway, it was just your turn, which I could totally understand. I could see that perspective. But one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of times, guys, we enter relationships with the hopes that we're going to be with that one person forever. And I think men need to realize that that's not the case anymore. You know, much like jobs, there is no long period loyalty. Like, you're not going to get the 10, 20, 30-year-old relationship that you think you're going to get. Just enjoy it while you got it. And then when it breaks up, you move on. That's really the only course of action we have in dating a relationship these days. At least that's my perspective. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep watching.
I just want an apology. You know, I want you to acknowledge that you're wrong. You've been in a relationship with these people for 2 years and I don't even know them, and they're in my house and I'm away on work. You don't have a job, so you have the time to do these kinds of things. And it's like, for you to have the nerve to say you want to no longer be with me, it just makes no sense, because I'm the one that should be looking to forgive you, but I don't even know how this works, or I don't have anybody to talk to about it. That's the only reason I'm even saying anything on here, because I literally don't even know what to do. But yeah, it looks like after 14 days, our relationship is pretty much over.
I mean, if you ask me, homie dodged the bullet. He dodged the biggest bullet he ever could have been shot at with, if that even makes sense. Case in point, what I'm trying to say here is, unfortunately, these days, you don't really know who you're dealing with until you've gotten to know that person. And that takes a lot longer than it did in the past. Before, I'd say it's a bit easier to kind of figure out what this person's about, because their scope of reference for a multitude of things is so limited, right? Like for example, you couldn't necessarily expect moral inadequacies in certain females simply because they weren't around those women that were doing those things. So because of that, it wasn't in their environment, so they didn't get an idea of what it could be. Now, because information is just so ubiquitous with your phone, the internet, and just about anything else, seeing the perspective of something that might be nefarious or, you know, a detriment to your relationship is quite possible these days. And I think with the idea that more people are falling into polyamory, or is that the right word? Yeah, polyamory, whatever the fuck it is. More people are opting to be in those kind of relationships, which to me, I think is kind of strange, because first of all, with the amount of diseases that are out there, unless y'all are actually getting tested on a frequent basis, there's no way I'm gonna, you know, just be out here recruiting. Ain't no way I'm just out here fucking raw without no sort of idea as to your panels. That's crazy. Fellas, that's a complete side note. That's gonna be for a video for another day, but case in point, all in all, I think this is a sad story. And what makes it worse is that this gentleman doesn't even have someone to talk to about it. That's why he's on the internet. That's why so many people are leaking out their information. They don't have anyone to talk to. We're cooked as a society. I don't know. That's just my opinion. My opinion is we're cooked as a society. I don't see shit getting better. I think everyone should adopt my philosophy of leasing lovers as opposed to, you know, assuming that you're gonna be in a relationship for the long haul. I don't know, that's just my opinion. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Fellas, if you got advice for this man, leave some advice for him in the comments below. Ladies, I wanna hear your opinions as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like the video. Make sure you share it with the homie. Check out some of the links in the description below, and I'll see y'all next year. Peace.